The big change happened. It just happened uh, this year, 2025, early this year. The social media world split into two camps. I saw it coming a couple of years ago, and I thought I want to be in the winning camp. So we'll call that Camp 3.0. And I'm watching Camp 2.0, which has evolved past Camp 1.0. This is the social media economy, the marketing economy, the influencer economy, the branding economy, the personal brand economy, the coaching service provider, B2B marketing economy. It's all the same. And it's split completely, not a little bit, but completely split into two groups. There's one group that wants to hang on to 2.0, and there's a group that's firmly embedded in 3.0. Whether they know it or not yet isn't the point. They're doing it. The opinions don't matter. It's what are you doing and why, who's it for, and why do you matter? And what are you bringing into the market? What's your impact? That's what matters. The opinions don't matter. It's not important. Never has been. It's split. And I saw it coming and I'm like, when is this going to happen? It happened. The new politics on social media is this division. It's a dramatic divide. How to connect, not divide online. That's the divide. It's not about politics. It's about marketing. It's about marketing versus experience sharing. It just happened. And it happened this year. It's been building. So there's pioneers, there's early adopters like me, pioneering things, trying things, testing things, and then wondering when is this going to happen? I know it's going to happen, but when is it going to happen? It happened. If I keep marketing, I'm going to fail because by next year, the experience sharers are going to win. And the marketing people are going to watch their markets erode, and they're already seeing a decline in sales revenue, profits, and in some cases, big time business failures in the making. You know the companies. It's obvious. This is obvious. This is the black swan. It's obvious in hindsight. We're in hindsight now. We're in hindsight now. We're not in its coming, where it happened. Now we can look back and say, oh, this is what happened. Who's going to win? The experience sharers that aren't marketing, that are communicating well. Yes. That know their market. Yes. That are connected with their people. Yes. Will win big time. And anybody who keeps marketing is going to fail over time. It doesn't happen overnight. What's old starts to die. It's a cash cow for a while for some people at the top because it's just there. Amazon's not going away overnight. It's a cash cow. They're panicking. They're reverting back to, we got to get back to work. We got to become entrepreneurs again. It's not going to work because it's not what's next. That's 2.0. 3.0 is experience sharing. 3.0 is to be real without marketing. That's simple. What is marketing? People don't even know what it is. It's a business function. We know what it is, but somehow it got all messed up when it jumped into the mainstream social media economy. Now the personal branding stuff and all the it's a business function. A marketing funnel is not a company. It's a business function to help a company hit its numbers. That's what's dying because the consumer doesn't want this. The consumer, even if you tell the truth, people think you're lying in this economy. This is the big change. So the only way to succeed today going forward, and this is this year, this has happened to media. It's done. We're already there. I'm excited. Finally, I've been wanting this to happen for years. Finally, we got there. Not me, the market, the economy. It's changed. That's called crossing the chasm. Other people catch up, but we're already there. We already know because we've been building this for years. Who's we? People who noticed. It's a lot, millions. It's not just me, millions of people. I meet them every day. They're like, yeah, that's all bullshit, isn't it? I'm like, yeah, it is. Oh, Got it. What's next? Experience sharing, telling the truth in a smart way. In other words, being useful. Just telling the truth to people without kindness is attacking something and opposing it, which is not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is figuring yourself out, knowing what your company, your product, your business is, and then who it's for and why it matters, and then creating it with them. You can't compete against that. Nobody can. These little companies that are the YouTube of the day when it was funny cat videos, when they realized, oh, this isn't a dating site. People want to publish their own content on this platform. Let's let them do that. And then they screwed up the business model because Google does not understand business. They never have. They understand technology and how to raise money and all that stuff. But that's not going to get us there today. 3.0, 2.0, you could do it. 2.0, you can do it. Now you can't. Why? Everything's cheap. You don't need any money. You don't need a big private equity roll up. The private equity, you want to cash out. That's a cash out strategy. There's other ways to do that, by the way. We're working on that. But the technology software stuff is ate the world, is what's it's done. They already did it. And we're like, you guys did a terrible job. It's all broken everywhere. It's terrible. But every product that has a problem because of the IT and the technology. It's not the IT people's fault. It's the investors and the software company's fault. They did this, and it's because they couldn't find a decent business model. So they had to use data as the product. Whose data? Mine, yours. Whose content? Mine or yours? That's YouTube. That's how it started. They realized, oh, people want to post their own videos. Now it's just corporate and marketers. So you can post your own videos. No one will ever see them unless you hire, a YouTube agency, or you're so cool, you're so different or compelling, or you already have a big success in the world. And even these celebrities, how do you think they're doing it? They're hiring marketing agencies. It's too complicated. That's dead. It's not going away. It's what's 2.0. When 3.0 comes, if you're in 3.0, you're going to always win. Always. What is 3.0? It's really simple. Tell the truth as you notice things, regardless of the consequences. You're going to get blowback. People won't say anything, but you lose a lot of friends. That's what happened to me. That got me in trouble. I got ignored. And most of the time, I created market confusion around my own brand, and I didn't care because it didn't matter, because I realized they don't know what I'm talking about, because it's coming, but it hadn't happened yet. Now people can understand what I'm talking about because it's happened and everyone knows it. That's the shift. And if you're on that shift and you've been playing around in this, you're going to make money now, and you're going to clean up. And these other companies are going to start to decline, and they can't pivot fast enough because they haven't been preparing. And their focus is on money. Their focus is on KPIs, objectives, and metrics. And it doesn't matter what they say, it's true. So they're looking at quarterly earnings. They're looking at paying back the private equity people. They're looking at marketing and how do I pump this machine up to hit my numbers, because I don't want to get fired. It's fear-based living. That's the shift. What's happened is the society is shifting from fear consciousness into connected living, experience sharing. Who am I? Why do I matter? Why am I here? What am I here for? What am I here to do? How do I get my own life out of these hierarchies? It doesn't matter if you work in them or not. That's not the point. It's you're not attached to the idea of them. So the idea of I'm going to become a lawyer, I went to Harvard or Yale, look how great I am, is done. Nobody cares anymore because they know what it is. It's a grind for years. And then you get to work for, evil corporations that are doing terrible things. And you get the big house and you're like, how did I get here? Well, that's done too, because everybody already knows, like, it's not going to work unless you've never had that. If you've been broke your whole life, you're looking at it from the bottom up. And I'm telling you right now, it's your time. If you're in the bottom 99%, it's your time. If you're in the bottom 10%, you're coming out of prison. It's your time. If you can get out of fear consciousness. Who gets out of fear consciousness the fastest? People who have nothing to lose, like me. I couldn't succeed in any, any hierarchy in the world economy. Not one. I tried all of them. I've talked about this a lot. I couldn't succeed in any of them. I have never succeeded working for someone else because something happens and I piss somebody off because of the politics that I'm not even noticing because I don't care. Or they feel threatened by me because I'm saying something they know is true and they don't want to hear it because it's disruptive of their secure, safe environment that was created that they rose up in and they want it to stay the same. It makes them feel comfortable. That's the Silicon Valley corporate stuff. That's the old entertainment industry run by the studios and the money people. You still need the money for that. Like you're not going to make a global blockbuster movie without somebody paying you, but the creative people are going to watch real carefully who they take money from. But you got to make money. Nobody wants an indie success that leaves them broke. But, that stuff's evolving. These new business models are coming online really quickly. I'm looking at Substack and I'm like, you're never going to make money on Substack, but you can use Substack to create a shared desire community. And then you can make real money using something like Welo and High Level and creating your own ecosystem is shared desire. I was looking at, I see him at David Remnick in the New Yorker. I saw him on Daily Show and I'm like, New Yorker's great great product, dying in the media economy, but he's got the best stuff. Why not put a Welo campus together and have people who like crosswords pay a monthly subscription so they can hang out and talk to each other? And then every once in a while, the crossword person from the New York Times or whatever comes in and says, "Here's how I did this." You think people will pay for that? Of course they'll pay for it. You're gonna have local chapters. This is what we're creating. The entrepreneur experience is based on this and this thinking. And there's all kinds of models. There's too many. That's my problem. It's not a problem. My job is to stay in what's next. Now I have partners, all kinds of people. We have a strategy meeting today. Let's pull this stuff together and go faster because it's happened. It's happened. The marketing people are going to drown. What is marketing? To sell or promote. It's divisive. It's how do I get your mind to do what I want? People don't want that. It works. Does it? Is it still 1960? Is it still the Dan Kennedy era? No, it's over. It leaped onto social media. Have you noticed teenagers now on TikTok? They don't want fast fads. They're done. The middle school kids do because they want to be popular. The teenagers are like, I don't feel good with this crap coming at me. And then they buy the products and they're like, this Brandy Melville stuff sucks. But they want to be like Brandy, who doesn't even exist. It's a guy. It's a middle-aged guy who likes looking at young women, taking pictures of them, who figured out Instagram. That's Brandy Melville. Crappy clothes. Crappy clothes. It looks good. It's a great brand. Marketing. People are like, well, Brandy Melville, the sales are up. It doesn't matter. It's done. 2.0. It's 2.0. That's the stuff that's going away because everybody hates it. All it does is give you a false sense of popularity and security for 5 minutes. Your mind feels a little better. You're like, oh, I get to belong again. We're done. It's exhausting. Nobody really wants that. It doesn't anchor in fundamental truths of reality. That's why it's over. It's a trend. It's not a fad. Definitely not. And it's not a, wait a minute. I'm getting confused on these 3 things. So there's a fad. Wait, I forgot. There's three. One is it just happens and goes away, like pet rocks or Swatch. swatch, popular, gone, or then it fad trend, um, wait, fad trend, damn it, I forgot. I had 3 words for this to make it simple, because I understand that. I was trying to figure out how to explain it. So Swatch, Pet Rocks, all this stuff, you just pop it out, make a ton of money, do another one, pop it out, do another one. That's TikTok. So they're creating these personas. They're yeah, buy, 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 buy. And then the middle school kids get older and they're like, no, done. That dies. Then there's a trend. United Colors of Benetton. United Colors of Benetton. And man, that worked for a while. Trend. Trend. We got lots of trends. There's millions of trends. Trends last a few years, but it's getting shorter. The cycles are getting shorter and shorter and shorter because the information's globalized and it's cheap. You can do anything almost immediately. You don't even need investors anymore. You need some backers sometimes. I think of the Medici family. Like, I'm like, what's coming next to investment economy? Philanthropy, like the Medicis. There's a lot of people with a lot of money in the world who don't want to give it away for charity or start a not for profit because they're like, who cares? However, investing that money in something cool, they do want to do that. And that's philanthropy, not charity. That's what Bill Gates is doing. He likes biology. He's an expert in epidemiology. He's an expert. And he's been running around the world saving people's lives for years. And then he gets attacked by the society for doing that. Doesn't matter what he says. Look at what he's doing. So I don't want to get political on this. I'm trying to explain something in terms of we're there. Those are the people who are going to win. So if you got $100 million because you got, a family office or something, and somebody comes to you and you like pets, and they're like, I'm building this pet thing. It's super cool. You want to fund it? The answer should be yes. But don't give them 100 million. They don't need it. Give them a couple hundred. Give them ask them how much they need. Don't ask for more than you need, or you'll screw it up. You have too much money. You're going to fail. That's not how entrepreneurship works. The alternative for me was to not build this in public and stay quiet, just plan, don't talk, and perhaps waste a few years on the sidelines. I can't do that. It won't work because then I'm starting today when I see the leap and it's too late. I've fallen behind. So the other pathway is play it safe, be conventional, and act with restraint. So I see a lot of that. So it's the people on the fence. They know, but they don't want to screw up their marketing because they've already succeeded enough. And they're like, I don't know if they'll follow me. Well, you're going to lose part of your audience. Yes, you're going to have a dip in revenue for sure. And you don't want that. I don't function like that. So I think those people are either going to they're going to sit on their cash cow and say, I'm writing this out and then I'll just retire or buy an island. And they don't care. I call that just doesn't care. It's about me and my buddies, my friends, my family. And I don't really care about everybody else. So I'm good. So I can't think like that. I never thought like that. Now, when people don't pay close attention and you're pressed and overwhelmed, now you have a problem because you're missing what's going on. You're missing it. And you could fail if you don't wake up and look around. I'm not talking about being woke. I'm saying wake up and look around and see what's actually happening, not the belief systems and the debates. That's not real. All that cable news stuff, you just ignore it. All those fights on Facebook, and it's not real. Just ignore it. There's a hidden agenda behind all that. There's disinformation, there's propaganda, and people marketing and trying to make money. Or people are just trying to convince other people they're right. They have a hidden agenda too. They're projecting their confusion into the world and creating discordance, and frustration and all kinds of stuff. Just look away. Look away. You want to connect with insight, consider this approach, experience sharing. Fully be yourself, find your own way, and be part of, not outside. You can find your people when you get there. You won't feel like an outsider anymore. I made the leap. Um, it was a market of one, me, for a long time, and no one liked what I was saying or connected to it or really understood it, including the people and the closest to me in my life. I had to go my own way for a long time. And I kept trying to explain what I was seeing to people, and the answer was, don't like it. You're doing it wrong. You need to wake up. You're going to go broke, or just you're triggering everybody, or nobody understands you, or you need to get a better elevator message. Like all this stuff projected onto me, and it hurt. And I felt like, how do I get him to understand? And the answer is you can't, because when you finish your own process, you get there, the people you need start showing up. And as you evolve, some of those people go away that seemed like the right ones. You got to let them go because they're not evolving with you. They're going in their own direction. They have their own thing going on. So you came together for a year and it was the right thing for that year. And then it's over. Then new people come in. That's trust. Um, This is the biggest challenge of my entire life, and I've had challenges since I was 7 years old. I've never fit in to anything ever, my entire life. So this is the biggest challenge, but it feels done, solid, and complete. And now I'm able to say what I think, mean what I say, and never apologize for who I am, why I'm here, and what I want to do. I was. I was trying to explain, like, can't you see this? Now people can. That's the exciting part. It's not just our little inner circle now. I'm looking in the entire society and I'm like, this is about to what's called cross the chasm. It hasn't quite yet, but I think it's early this year, March 21st. I thought it would be March a year ago. It's this year. Just happened. And everybody I talk to is like, I go on Google, the plumbers suck. I go on Google, it's bad dentists. I have documentation of utter egregious malpractice and bad sales techniques that I fully understand from a national dental chain that's popular in the marketplace. Big late night TV budget. They're huge on Google. It's egregious malpractice and charging people double of what it should cost to extract their teeth and put new teeth in. It's unbelievable. And that's what pops up on Google right now. They're in big trouble. Class action lawsuit is possible against people like this. I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but I could. And same with plumbing. Same with plumbing. We have a plumbing company, biggest in the North Shore of north of Chicago. Egregious malpractice, errors and omissions. Um, I used to work in the insurance industry. I'm not making this stuff up. I know how it works. I understand how the laws work, and I know how insurance companies work and those policies work. And I understand the standard of conduct that's required to have any kind of professional business. I sold professional liability and errors and omissions insurance to these kind of people. And they're egregiously violating their standards, and they're doing it in public with what could be seen as false, misleading advertising. And Google's deeply involved in this. Now, they're lawyered up. They already know this. They know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. These people are not stupid. They're lawyered up. But if you do that for too long, the market notices. Now you die. Amazon, same thing. They've been stealing people's products for years. How are they doing it? They take all your sales data in Amazon Marketplace and they use it for their own product roadmap. Google does the same thing. That's why everything's tied in. That's why the technology is all screwed up, because they also own the browser and they got the email domains sewn up. This is what they're doing. It's not bad. It's not good. It's done. 2.0. The tech economy is 2.0. We're in the experience sharing economy now. 3.0. This man's cleaning out my basement. It's still flooded. Weeks of this malpractice, bad plumbers, private equity roll up. 34 plumbing companies. The owners cashed out and left. Now you have a mess. Nobody in the plumbing company who understands how old homes work. They're all old homes where I live. There's some new construction, which all sucks because it was churned out quick. But all the old stuff's got there's no old house that doesn't have a problem. They all do. And if you don't understand that and you're advertising yourself as an expert in it and you can't even come in and figure it out at all, and then you're recommending solutions that cost tens of thousands of dollars for homeowners, and you're winning on all of the lead generation systems online, you're in trouble. People are going to figure it out. And there's good plumbers too. They're just hard to find. What if they were easy to find? That's what we're doing. We're going to make them easy to find. I'm telegraphing what's coming. I've been doing this for years. I'm building it in public. So as I see what's coming, I say it. And now people aren't pushing back. They're like, "Oh yeah, you're right." And I'm talking about powerful people who run things in my network, who run stuff. They're like, "Yeah, you're right." They're sick of it too. This guy's standing in my basement. He used to work at Midas under the cars. Remember when all those chains started? Jiffy Lube, Midas, you probably don't even remember. I've been watching this economy since the 80s because I've been in it, because I had to figure it out because it was the only way I could make a living, because I couldn't get into any professional career. None. They all rejected me, every one of them. Law, education. I wanted to be a professor. Nope, can't do it. You have to be a specialist. I can't be a specialist. I'm a generalist. Nope, you're out. All of them. Lawyer, no, can't, you can't. LSAT's too low. You can't. And I'm like, well, if I can't go to a top firm, I'm going to be in a law factory, and that's going to suck. I'm not a processor of paperwork. So it's like, that's out. Business, same thing. I couldn't get into a top business school. There was no way. You're not good enough at business. Am I not good enough at business? I couldn't get in the hierarchy, but I figured it out on the ground, in the trenches, selling, doing business development, creating structures, succeeding, getting crushed by change and technology shifts, figuring it out again, going forward, getting into a new market, getting into a new industry, doing it again, doing it again, doing it again. That's how you learn business. Business is about learning business by doing business. You get educated in business to work in a corporation because they have rules and they need people who will fit into their structure. That's why you have business schools. Business schools are not for people who go do business. The people who are running the business schools don't know how to do business unless they have. Some of those people have started companies. Some of those people have actually been alone without a brand in the marketplace and succeeded. But those people don't typically end up in the business school programs. Sometimes they teach in them. The people at Kellogg in Chicago have actually done the stuff they teach. I've seen marketing professors who have never succeeded doing marketing in the market. They understand the theory of marketing. That's not good enough. If you can't, I can't do it. I fully understand it, but I can't do marketing. You don't hire me to do marketing. That's why I have a brand person on our team. That's why I have a business development expert on our team. That's why we have a networking expert on our team. That's why we have a strategy expert on our team embedded in the product, because I can't do or teach that stuff. I can teach how to go hustle, create an entrepreneur structure, do inner development, and build a team, pull it together. I know how to do that because I've done it a million times. I've done it so many times, I don't even have to think about it. I see immediately when somebody tells me, oh, think about this instead. And I can't tell them what to do. And I've learned that. Don't tell them what to do. Don't give them the answer, because they have to find the answer for themselves, because their answer is going to be different than mine. That's why. It's not that I don't know. I do know what they should do most of the time, but I don't really know. How could I? I'm not them. That's the key to this. If you're a coach, consultant, or service provider, and you're telling people what the answer is, that's what marketers are doing, because it's easier to sell. You package it in a signature method. It's easier to sell. 2.0. We're in 3.0. You keep doing that, you're going to be competing against a smaller share of market. More people who are desperate and in pain are going to show up for your lead generation magnet, because you're amplifying, triggering their pain, and you're using hypnotic rhythms of marketing persuasion to get them to convert. Who's like that. The people who are not paying attention, who are suffering and struggling, that's the middle of the curve and the laggards, not the front of the curve. The front of the curve, well, the pioneers, early adopters, the chasm, then it leaps across the chasm into the fast follower types, or the not sorry, early majority. I got those confused. So I'm a pioneer. The early adopters show up always and help me when I get there. And then there's a huge chasm. Eventually, what I get into always leaps. It always has. It's always leaped. When I got into virtual business, years later, it leaped. When I got every time, it always leaps. Um, and then the early majority are the people who wait for the proof. They want social proof. They want best practices. When does the social proof come? It's coming now. Social proof is not me marketing social proof. Social proof is people who are successful already that people have heard of who say, I get it. I'm doing this with him too. Watch that happen now with me. Watch it. Watch some of these really successful people on stages, big stages for years, who are like, I want part of what he's doing. Watch that happen. It's going to happen right now. Then the early majority floods towards what's next. It's not just me. It's people innovating in education and healthcare and government and everywhere. I know those people. They're where I live. We're bonding together. You can't stop that. It's not going to be stopped because it's right and it's happened. So that's the point, is get into 3.0 right now or you're going to fall behind. If you stay in 2.0 and you're not successful yet, you won't succeed because it's done. So the new politics on social media is watch anybody who's telling you to do it like them. They're dividing you from your own self. That's what dividing means in this case. It means they're trying to get your mind to attack you, to stop you from not buying from them.